Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have 60 Days In. This is an A&E series from 2016 to 2024. It says it's 7 seasons. There are actually 9. They're missing seasons 6 and 8 here on Disney Plus. I don't know what happened in season 6 and 8, but jeez. If just one episode is in any indication as to the absolute terror, I hope nobody watching this ever has to experience this who is wholly unprepared, as some of these people who have volunteered, 7 people have volunteered, innocent of any crimes, to be put in the Clark County Jail, one of the most notorious prisons in America, for its violence and for its corruption on of the people who run the place. Historically, I don't think it's always been that way. I'm going to fix this real quick. Thank you. It's in Illinois. It's outside of Chicago. It is. Yeah. I just watched the first episode. The first episode is literally just preparing them and us for what's to come. And we get a look at the different types of people that we have here. We have a number of women, at least 1, 2, 3 women, 4 men. Yeah, 3 women, 4 men. And they're a good variety, and some of them have also been in law enforcement, including one woman who is a cop currently. She shows up, and I realized these were all vetted beforehand, and they are picked prior to all of this by producers to go, oh, who would be interesting to put in these situations? They look over their personality profiles, their histories, all the different details about their lives, and go, you know what, that one's a cop. She's also a lesbian. She's very butch, but she's a tough woman. She's dealt with some tough situations on the other side of the law, and now she gets to experience it in prison on the other side. And she shows up, she tells them, oh, I have a cop tattoo. What? Seriously? Like, they should have worked that thing out beforehand. Like, there was a big surprise to the people doing the early interview. Like, not the early interview to be picked, but they're already picked, and they're getting the review of what they need to do and not do when they go to prison by a guy who understands the people who live in correctional facilities. Practically, even when they get out, they end up coming back in through choices of their own. And each of these people take it a little bit differently. We have a school teacher, we have a cop, we have a Marine, we have what did everybody else do? Muhammad Ali's oldest daughter. Not kidding. Yeah, she works in Los Angeles here, working with the kids in danger, she's a social worker in a sense, or if that's what she is. I can't remember the exact term, but I believe she's a social worker, and but one that has done this for a long time. It's not just like a side job or just hey, how about you? You want to? This is her living. And she knows that a lot of people she's come in contact with have been in and out of jail for years. And she's taking a shot at being on the inside, seeing what they've experienced. And out of all of them, she has to fully change she has to at least change her last name. Not going to be, oh, weren't you Muhammad Ali's daughter? Ah, crap. Yeah, that gets you a special treatment, I imagine. Kenya Box? Yeah, it's not a good thing. So, there's also just a mom. There's a mom who's just a stay-at-home mom who looks like a leaf on the wind. She looks so tiny. She looks like you could just pick her up and throw her, and odds are that can happen for the dumbest reason. She has 2 young boys at home. The Marine has a baby son. Baby. The reason why I'm just exasperated like this is just the thought of it is terrifying, and everything they put up to these people to tell them what they're going to have to deal with, how they're supposed to react. Yes, it's for us. It is for us to understand. But they have to tell them for us to understand what they're in for. How to react, how not to react, how to interact. And the thing is, since they're innocent, and since there are criminals in there with them, who are bored to death. They just like conflict, they like drama, they like being tough. They are cowed by the system by being in prison. And this is a small little area where they get to fight to be the biggest one. And even if you're non-threatening and you're a small security guard, which is another one of them, but they don't know you're a mall security guard. They all have beyond. I think they all mostly keep their names except for Muhammad Ali's daughter. They all have cover stories. And the moment they are picked up by the police, they are treated as inmates. Nobody, including the people in the prison, who are there as prisoners, and nobody working in the inside except for the sheriff and like 1 or 2 other top level people, know that these people are completely innocent. Because their job in doing this is to observe criminality on both ends. This is ambitious because from the moment the intake crew brings them in, does the fingerprints, does the photographs, do all that other stuff, they don't know that these people are innocent, that they're being watched. There was a camera upgrade made in the weeks, months before to under a cover of a different story, so that it can't be correlated to these new people showing up at all. So there's lots of layers of coverage on this to make sure that, one, visibility is on these people at all time. Every time they take a poop, not just the inmates are watching, but literally the producers of this show are basically covering, making sure that there's not a moment where they look the wrong way and that person, who is just an innocent mother of 2 boys, is gone for reasons. And each of them have their reasons, by the way, for going in there. The mother, she states that her husband works for, he's in the military, I believe, also, and he gets all these kind of benefits, but so do the criminals, the same kind of benefits, and they're criminals, and so she has opinions. There's also, on the other end of the spectrum, a dude who's a school teacher, and he's like a big brother to underprivileged kids, and he wants to be able to show, hey, look, this is the kind of situation that it is like, in prison. I want to be able, since he's so good with these kids, he believes it's going to be a breeze. Now, Robert is his name, and honestly, just like any reality TV show, I think we're meant to hate him. I think he's like the jerk, the puck of whatever that reality show on MTV was. It's the guy who just says all the dumbest things in order to get reactions from other people. In fact, I think a lot of the things he's saying in the interview process, like, does anybody have any? Do you have any questions? He's like, oh yeah, the common room TV. What size is that TV? 60 inches. 60 inches? That sounds great. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this. I think I'm going to make a lot of friends here. And the Marine and the cop sitting next to him are just like, what are you talking about? What do you think? Like, and he does it on the cutaways when he's talking to the camera directly. he could be just acting for the camera just to sensationalize it, but I think Robert's gonna go away worse. He's gonna go down hard, or however you want to take that. We get to see his almost full intake when he first arrives, and you get to hear the voices, not just see the things that the people who are waiting inside in general population, general population. I know the terms. I've seen prison shows. I know I've known people who've been to prison, or at least like a small county jail, local jail. It's not pleasant at that level. I know somebody who was in a local smaller jail, like a county level thing, and she made friends there. It's not always 100% horrible, but Clark County Jail doesn't have that reputation. I don't know if things have changed since this, but the point is that the people in charge are, one, improving their security, their cameras, everything else, but also wanting to get some insight on the amount of drug use, how it gets in there, who brings it in, and not just keeping an eye on the criminals, but keeping an eye on the staff, the correctional officers. Because it is hard when people say, hey, not all cops are corrupt. Not all is too many. Let's just say that. Not all is too many when you're dealing with the law, when your job is to enforce the law, but you are breaking it for your own profit or power or whatever it is. And there's no shortage of enhancing things. I don't want to say the word too much because it could trigger the alarms on this video. There's just way too much of it. And they see that. They intercut these interviews with each of these people as we get to know them with footage from the inside, from that prison, prior to them ever arriving. And they do give us a preview of what's going to be happening in this season. And they're only supposed to be there in 60 days. It feels like 60 days too much. But apparently there's at least 7 here, but 9 or more. How many seasons does it say? There's 128 episodes fully. I don't know how many seasons there are. It won't tell me offhand. This seems like a really bad idea. But I'm compelled to watch more. And just go, no. Only because I think part of the pull is Robert. Because you almost want to see him get corrected about whatever BS he believes. Just because he can mentor a few kids out in the world and be a great influence on them for like 13 years. And that's commendable by any stretch of the imagination to be able to have that level of generosity. But when he seems very single, and he's also, well, I'm very single too, but he's very single. He's like, you know what I'm going to really miss is my blender. I won't be able to have smoothies. Okay, buddy. You're going to be drinking down a whole lot of other stuff that you may not be a fan of if you do not get your crap together. Let's just say that. Your attitude isn't going to be cute inside there. I could be wrong. He might float through that 60 days and it's going to be just awesome. But one of the rules in this is that because criminals are in there for crimes, and if they commit crimes while in there, their sentences get lengthened. And if you don't have a criminal record in the first place, which everybody was made sure of before they got selected, you will have a criminal record if you commit a crime while in prison. And it feels very much like, from the little previews they show you at the end of the first episode, that some people will be gaining a criminal record by the end of this season, by the end of those 60 days. along with some people, might be losing parts of their body, or at least having them rattled pretty hard. When you see a very strong woman who's a cop going in there, and they show a short clip of her literally holding her chin and crying, that is not an easy thing to reconcile. Like, how far did it go? And yes, the cameras are on them at all times, and if something goes wrong, they could probably pull them out, but it's usually never fast enough. There's a few scenes, even in these at the beginning and the end, where they show cops bursting into the common area with guns ready to go to shut things down, whatever bad stuff's going down. And yes, the criminals and the cops running the place, they don't know what's going on. None of them are acting. And the people who are doing this, these are real situations. I don't like reality TV shows, and I can't see a way you could be faking this. Because I know that all reality shows are fake. This one, sure, I think it's positioned in a way to be more evocative in some ways, and its premise is highly evocative in order to get a certain reaction out of people. But there's what happens to them in this place. There's no, seasoned actors, from between spots on Breaking Bad, just stepping in there with their tattoos and going to make threats to these innocent people. No, it's not that way. So it's nobody's stepping out of there, returning to their role from Oz, and just sort of reliving their time just to protect these new people, but also make it look like they're scary. That's not happening, I don't think. I mean, it could be. I could be wrong. I don't know enough about the show. This is the most I've ever seen of it. I am hesitant to even think about watching, even just finishing this season. But we'll see. We'll see. If it's the whole time, I'm just going, nope, real or fake. I honestly, this seems like a Scared Straight on steroids. This does have some strong language, innuendo, things like that. It is bleeped most of the time. You're going to hear the B word a lot, but mostly anything else that you're going to see in this is bleeped. So it is something that you could probably watch if you're sensitive to those things with, I wouldn't show the kids, but man, sometimes those Scared Straight programs might work. Showing them this could work. I'm scared straight now because, I don't want to go anywhere near this place. Not even to visit. So, I think there's moments where they get to step away and sort of talk to the camera and go, I regret my decision. There's a few moments in here where they're just like, I wish I had not done this. And I don't know if they get pulled out like early or not, if they ask for it. Like, is there an emergency escape button? I don't know if they get that. And I don't know if they get paid. I would have to be paid. If I was going to do this, I better have 5 to 6 figures waiting for me when I get out. Because for me to be away from, say, if I had children, my partner, yeah, no, that's... This is a lot. So this is probably one of the most intense shows you could probably find on Disney Plus or Hulu. I imagine it's on Hulu as well. Probably, maybe it has all the seasons on Hulu. I don't know. If you're gonna watch this, just be prepared. It's nerfed. The edges are cut. It's made safe for viewing. I imagine there might be a more realistic one out there that it's a bit more edgier that wouldn't be able to be shown on A&E. Maybe it's an HBO thing or whatever, or Showtime. But yeah, approach this one with caution, but be prepared to see some upsetting things and worry about the lives of these people who've stepped into this. I feel really worried about the mom of 2. Robert, we're not so much concerned about. No, I mean, nobody should have be harmed by this, but they have to go in there expecting it. The problem is Robert is just like, I'm sure it's going to be like a walk in the park for 2 months. I'm going to make tons of friends. We're going to hang out, watch the TV, and don't play cards. Don't gamble. Is one of the warnings they were given. I'm feeling that Robert's going to gamble. I don't know. He's just going to say the wrong, dumb, flippant thing. This is me caring about what happens to reality show participants. And I don't. I really don't. So yeah, we'll see. I'm tempted to watch more of it, but I doubt I will, just to really reduce the amount of stress in my life. I don't need any more. I'm just saying. This is your thing. If you like that reality show stuff, this is probably the scariest, other than Smothered or Arranged. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 4. Wow, we're staying really low. I'm so glad we have a series. We're in the A's. On one of these, okay. We were in the A's, and it's a series. It's a scripted series. We do not have many of these. There are a lot of documentaries, reality shows, and behind-the-scenes concert performances and stuff. They're all in the same category. So it looks like really heavy on that. And thankfully, there's a good variety. We got, after seeing stuff about the North American nature exploration, we got one about prisons. So that's exciting. But this is something I'm really curious about. I'd never really watched much of the original series that was on Cartoon Network. Yeah, you might know what I'm talking about. And it's been brought to Disney Plus and Hulu, I believe. But I think it's on Disney Plus. If it's not, I'm going to have to cancel watching this. We'll find out in a moment after I tell you what it is and I sign off. If I come back, well, if it's Hulu only, I'm going to have to skip. But it fits with Disney because it's animated. It's Adventure Time, side quests. Yes. If you know the stories, the Adventure Time series, if you're a fan of that, the animation is different, but I don't know much else beyond that. And it should be interesting. I'll watch at least one episode, see how it goes. I am interested. Adventure Time side quests is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.